finals ran the gamut of emotions. For 7 heated battles, the Detroit Pistons and the Los Angeles Lakers sparred toe-to-toe. And it was a heroic Isaiah Thomas who led Detroit to the brink of an NBA championship, but whose dreams went unanswered as the poise of the Lakers stood firm, earning them their 5th title this decade. They're being hailed as the team of the 80s. And now the Los Angeles Lakers are seeking to close out this decade the same way they started it, with an NBA championship. They've cruised through these playoffs in spectacular fashion, piling up 11 straight wins, and putting them right on course to end the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar era with yet another championship ring. They are billed as basketball's bad boys. But the Detroit Pistons have relied on more than just brawn in reaching the NBA Finals. They have earned the trip the old-fashioned way, with a smothering defense that can frustrate anyone. And now, that defense will be unleashed on the Lakers in a rematch the Pistons have dreamt about for an entire season. A year ago, we opened the finals at the Forum in Inglewood, California. But this year, the home court advantage belongs to the Detroit Pistons, who battled all year to gain it. And so tonight, in their beautiful new palace, about 35 miles outside of downtown Detroit, it'll be Game 1 of the finals. The Detroit Pistons attracted better than 1 million fans. And if this championship series gets to Game 6 or 7, they will be played right here in the Palace, unlike a year ago, where the Lakers pulled it out by winning 6 and 7 at their home. So we welcome everybody to the 1989 NBA Finals. Game 1 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. A series that is rated dead even. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Pat O'Brien. Here we go again. It was a marvelous 2-week war a year ago. Regardless of who wins this year's final, it's the end of a basketball era. For one of the greatest to ever play this game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is calling it a career. He's 42 years old. He is the oldest man to ever play in the NBA, and he has come back to the championship stage. At the other end, Isaiah Thomas, trying to win his first NBA title. Who will ever forget that performance in Game 6 a year ago? 43 points, 25 in the third quarter, 11 of them coming after that gut-wrenching ankle injury. Speaking of injuries, unfortunately, the Lakers are going to be without one of their stars. Byron Scott, during a drill yesterday, a contact drill, popped a hamstring. He has been lost for the first 2 games of the finals. Now, a short time ago, Pat O'Brien caught up with Byron as he arrived outside the locker room.
Outside the locker room with Byron Scott, and we hear all kinds of reports. 2 games, 3 weeks, the rest of the season. What is it?
Well, really, Pat, you can't really describe what it's going to be right now. We just have to go. We know it's going to be 2 games for sure, but we have to wait until we get back to L.A. to give it a little bit more evaluation, see how it feels, and if any possibility that I can get in there, I'll get in there.
Fine time for this to happen, huh?
Without a doubt. With all the things that's been going on with this team all year, then have something like this happen is devastating to me personally.
What have you said to Michael Cooper, who will step in for you tonight?
Well, I really haven't said nothing to him. Pat Coop's an 11-year veteran. He knows exactly what it takes to win, and he's a great player in situations like that. He'll definitely get the job done.
Good luck to you. Get well. We'll see you down the stretch, maybe.
Thank you, Pat.
Back to you, Brent.
All right, Pat, and certainly the Lakers are hoping that Byron is healthy when Game 3 takes place at the Forum on Sunday afternoon. Unlike the earlier 7-game series, keep in mind that the finals are conducted on a different basis. The first 2 games are here at the Palace, and then the next 3 would be played in Inglewood before we come back for a 6 and a 7. Now, the 2 men who have called the action for you are down at center court, so let's send you down to Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Dick?
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Well, the coaches have to have a rallying cry coming into the series other than let's try to win the title. Motivation is very important. Now, for the Lakers, they feel that the Pistons did not give them their credit for winning last year, and it sticks in their craw. The Pistons say we should have won. If Isaiah Thomas had not been hurt in the 7th game, they would have won, and we blew it, and the Lakers feel they deserve more. Now, as far as the Pistons are concerned, after having the best record in the regular season going into the playoffs, everyone felt that Detroit would be the likely champion. But since the playoffs have started, now Detroit is the underdog, and because the Lakers are unbeaten in postseason, people like L.A. Detroit wants to have that favored role again. Well, they have to have something to put their hat on. Of course, we have Hubie Brown to put our hat on. And Hubie, how do you look at game 1 of this series?
Well, it's really a defensive struggle, Dick. We have the 2 toughest and stingiest defenses in the NBA. Very difficult to get an uncontested shot because of size, speed, quickness, and they're both very physical. All right, Laker problems. They must control Isaiah Thomas. He cannot get off up-tempoing the game and then come in with over 30. This would be disaster. On the Pistons front, big problem, James Worthy. Not only the points, but getting their front line in foul trouble.
Now, Byron Scott is a big story here, and the Lakers are losing more than just their 3rd leading scorer at 20 points a game, right?
Well, you know, the perimeter game, he's one of the top 3-point shooters in basketball. That allows the Lakers to post up their key people. Now, moving Michael Cooper into the starting lineup is fine, but when Cooper goes to the bench, will we see a guard rotation, or for the first time in the history of this league, they will move James Worthy to the backcourt, and we could see 5 guys over 6'9" on the floor.
I'm kind of hoping we see that. Well, we've talked about the defense and the adjustments for Byron Scott, and Hubie Brown has more on the opening night concerns for each team.
There are some problems each team faces in this final. First, Detroit must find an answer to the offense of James Worthy. If Rick Mahorn is unable to defend him, either Dennis Rodman or John Sally will take over the defensive duty. The Pistons must defend Magic Johnson. Defensive specialist Joe Dumars, who guarded Michael Jordan in the Eastern Finals, gets the assignment. L.A. is very concerned about the worm, Dennis Rodman, who has been a terror on the offensive glass thus far in the playoffs. The most precious commodity in the series may be easy baskets, because with the intense defense that we all see, any breakaway is significant. And the X factor is really the O factor. The Lakers' Orlando Woolridge, the newest addition to this playoff scenario.
So it appears that the bench is going to be a big factor in this series, Brent. And as far as the Lakers go, they feel that Orlando Woolridge is cut out of the mold of Rodman and Sally, but he's stronger. We'll see. Back to you.
All right, Dick, and you and I were talking a little bit earlier about how emotional this is for the fans in both cities. But how about the players? Well, we asked Magic Johnson to try and put the finals into the proper context, and it's been a center stage almost the entire decade.
I love it to be so dramatic like it is. And then I feel that I'm rising with that. This is it. This is it. I mean, this is what you fight for 8 months to get to this point, because every human being should have a chance to come to this level and feel, be able to not sleep for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, however long it goes, and feel the crowd and the tension, and every possession, every shot is so big. They should want to trade places with me. This is, I can't even describe it. It's so unbelievable. And I love it. It's great.
So let the sleepless nights begin for the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. This figures to be another great final. Game 1 is about to begin from Auburn Hills, Michigan. It'll be the Pistons and the Lakers for the NBA Final coming up on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals is sponsored by Miller Lite, sole sponsor of the match of the century, Lightomania. Armor All Car Wax, because we're crazy about cars too. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet.
The first year at their home, the Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan, hosting an NBA Finals. And for the introduction of the starting lineups for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, here's our public address announcer, Ken Calvert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills for Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals. And now let's meet some of the world's greatest athletes. First, the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers. And one of the forwards wearing number 42 from North Carolina, here's James Worthy. And the other forward wearing number 45 from Oregon State, A.C. Green. At center, wearing number 33 from UCLA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. One of the guards wearing number 21 from New Mexico, Michael Cooper. And at the other guard wearing number 32 from Michigan State University, Urban Magic Johnson. The head coach is Pat Riley. And now introducing your Eastern Conference champions, your Detroit Pistons. At one of the forwards, wearing number 23 from DePaul, here's Marco Aguirre. At the other forward, wearing number 44 from Hampton Institute, Rick Mahorn. At center, wearing number 40 from Notre Dame, Bill Laimbeer. At one of the guards, wearing number 4 from McNeese State, here's Joe Dumars. Wearing number 11 from Indiana, your captain, Isaiah Thomas. The head coach is Chuck Daly.
You can see the concern on the faces of both coaches, two of the best dress coaches in the NBA. Let's take a look back at last year's series that went 7 games. The Lakers had to win Game 6 and 7 at home in the Forum, and they did by the slimmest of margins. Detroit won the opening game on the road. Let's see if the Lakers can turn the tables here at the Palace. Keep in mind, though, that the Lakers coming in have a 16-game winning streak dating back to the regular season. Jake O'Donnell, Jack Madden, and Jess Kersey are the officials working today, and all eyes throughout the series on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his finale. Hubie, what kind of jitters are in the stomachs of these players right now?
Well, it doesn't matter how many times you're here. It's always a new game. It's a new type of personality. For the Lakers, they're opening up the series for the first time on the road in a long time.
Last year, they had the home court throughout, and they needed it. It'll be Kareem and Laimbeer jumping. The Pistons in white, the Forum blue or purple-clad Lakers. The view from under the scoreboard as you look down on the opening tip. Game 1, not yet underway, as they will jump again. Pistons in the finals for the second year in a row. They have gotten better and better each year and face the challenge. Magic Johnson, who went to Michigan State out of East Lansing, Michigan, back home.
They're going right into Kareem.
And we have a pushing foul into the 10 seconds into the game by Bill Laimbeer. But that's the strategy, to go right into Kareem quickly.
The Lakers always try to establish their low post game, either with Kareem or James Worthy early, to test your defense.
First shot of the game is missed, but Green on the offensive rebound. And Laimbeer the rebound. Detroit, they want an up-tempo game. They want to get a lot more shots. And Isaiah Thomas starts it all off.
Yes, indeed. If this is any indication, every time in the playoffs this year that he's had a big night, they've been almost unstoppable.
There may be an adjustment with the clock right now. now they have called a double technical foul on Rick Mahorn and A.C. Green. Watch the left of your screen.
Right, here we go. There it is. We see Mahorn grabbing at his shirt. A.C. Green retaliating. Did not like that hit in the back of the head that time from Mahorn.
But the message has been sent by the officials. Worthy over Mahorn. Rebound by Aguirre, and a loose ball foul called against the Lakers. And it'll be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How do the officials treat a game like this, knowing that the bad boy image could be a factor in this one?
Yeah, but they're going to make all the calls. We have excellent people out here tonight, but everybody must get away from the early game tension. Let's get in the flow of things.
Isaiah Thomas was looking for a foul or a basket, got neither, and so the Lakers with the ball, trailing 2-0. Pick and roll into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from Magic Johnson. Joe Dumars, the quiet man on the Piston team, but maybe the best all-round guard, one of the best in the league for sure.
Watch all of the baseline movement now for the guards for Detroit.
Thomas drives in, cuts in off the baseline. So Isaiah has the 4 Detroit points. They're looking to get the ball inside. Here's Worthy.
This is interesting. No double teaming.
And it's working so far. Rebound Mahorn. Aguirre posting up. And Mark Aguirre, who was acquired for Adrian Dantley in a controversial trade this year. They thought it might affect the team chemistry. And it hasn't, and they'll call another foul against the Lakers, this one on A.C. Green.
Well, he's definitely upset. You'll see it going down in here now. Aguirre and A.C. Green. There's your forearm to the face. Nice acting job also, but the shot was delivered.
The Lakers may not be used to this kind of aggression. They went through the West basically unscathed. Aguirre off the rim, and the rebound by Kareem. A little more than 2.5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter.
We're going to see a lot of Magic posting.
Cooper hits a three-point basket from outside. So if the Pistons are going to collapse in and give him the shot, Cooper has sent a message there, and he has improved his shooting lately.
The Detroit attack is basically guard dominated.
Here's Mahorn from the corner, and he hits. A year ago, Rick Mahorn was limited against the Lakers because of a severely bad back that required surgery. Worthy in good position inside. Rebound into the hands of Lane Beer. Aguirre with Magic defending. So the two friends going at each other, and the Pistons lead by 5.
Detroit needs as many open floor, easy baskets as possible because they have strained throughout the playoffs in scoring 100 points.
They have now 8 on the shot clock. Magic with a runner.
That's one of the key plays, the pick and roll, because of Magic's great talent to score or make the pass.
Thomas turns the ball over into Green. Johnson for 3. Mahorn with the rebound. Lakers are not getting many second shots. They've had only one instance where they had a second shot. Aguirre missed a three-point attempt, and Kareem with a good outlet to A.C. Green. Lakers trail the Pistons by 3.
You know, this is an interesting tempo. I think that the Lakers can push it harder if they will just try to force the action off to the fast break.
Illegal defense called against the Pistons. That'll be a warning the next time it's a technical foul. So the Lakers obviously want to run as much as they can, but they can beat the Pistons at their game. They have been able to play in a half-court style and win that way.
Well, they're getting what they want early. I find it interesting that Detroit is not double-teaming Worthy, that they're allowing Mahorn to play him one-on-one.
They're not double-teaming any of the Lakers so far. Cooper has it. Plenty of time on the 24-second shot clock. Kareem guarded by Lane Beer. Mahorn teases for a double, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his second basket. That's Byron Scott, who's averaging 20 points a game in the playoffs. A key man on both offense and defense will have to sit out at least the first 2 games for the Lakers.
To watch the high pick and rolls here. See, there's an awful lot of contact, Dick. Anytime that we see a pick and roll come about, because the defensive teams are not allowing you to come off of it and beat the man off the dribble into the lane.
Cooper's foul. And a turnover. Pistons turn it over, and here's Kareem.
Do it, big fella.
AC Green misses, but inside is Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson, who can do almost everything.
Come on, you had to like that. Kareem there, dribble it out on the break. He handled the ball real well.
I like it. Maybe he'll play guard. Lakers have run off 6 in a row. And now they'll call Detroit inside for a foul.
AC Green took it right on the two front teeth that time.
He tested it. They're not loose. He's okay. So AC Green, who got hit in the mouth and got called for a foul, his second, now is walking off on a timeout. And what do you think happens from Jake O'Donnell, Buby?
Watch this. There it is. And it knocked AC back. Now watch AC's reaction. He's just off. He's very frustrated. He's been nailed a few times by Mahorn. Now he's in foul trouble. All right, and then the referee gets him on the way out. It's not AC's night.
At least not yet. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Down here by the Laker bench, and AC Green got hit by Mark Aguirre, he says, and it chipped his tooth back, or pushed it back, they're saying. He thinks he'll be okay. By the way, the Lakers in that huddle were talking about they're happy with the tempo of the game. They thought they'd have some problems with the long layoff, but they think they're going to be okay. Back to you guys.
All right, Pat, you're right. The tempo is good for the Lakers. Meanwhile, Orlando Woolridge is checked in for the Lakers. Joe Dumars misses a shot, the rebound by Cooper. So Woolridge, who has really come on big in the playoffs, the X Factor, they call him.
See, this is what I think we'll see a lot more of.
Magic with the sky hook and the rebound by Lane Beer. 6:35 remaining in the first quarter. The Lakers by 1, 11-10. First lead of the game for LA. Worthy guarding Dumars. Lane Beer. Detroit getting a lot of chances here. But they're foiled after 3 or 4 attempts, and on the break, here's Worthy. And he is pushed hard by Mahorn, and Pat Riley has come off the bench and is really yelling at the officials now as Mahorn gave Worthy a push inside.
Well, Pat's a little hot now because he has a problem with AC Green being injured. Look at this great pass by Magic finding. Now watch how Worthy avoids Dumars, but now here comes the hit with the left arm on Mahorn.
And a 20-second timeout called by the Lakers. Worthy is kneeling down in front of the bench. He was shaken up a bit, and Gary Vitti, the Lakers trainer, attending to him. So right now for the Lakers has not been a pleasant arrival in Detroit, with Byron Scott hurt and out for 2 games. Green gets hit, and now Worthy. James Worthy has really come to play in the playoffs, which is really no surprise. And you look at the sparkling numbers he has put up so far in the 11 games. He has been the top playoff scorer for the Lakers 3 years in a row. He has never led them in regular season. So if you ever ask, does James Worthy rise to the occasion, there's your answer.
You know what's incredible about all this is that in the Portland series he played Drexler, then in the Seattle series Ellis, then in the Phoenix series Tom Chambers. Now we're talking about 3 guys who light it up. Now he's playing both ends of the floor. A tireless worker, very unselfish, and I like what Magic says. Consistent. That's James Worthy.
Only 1 free throw. We're at the Palace of Auburn Hills, game 1 of the NBA Finals. Just the start of things. The teams feeling each other out. Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown. Joe Dumars slices in for the basket. Good penetration by the Pistons.
I'm impressed. Pistons are getting easy shots, Dick. They're getting wide open 15-foot jumpers, and when they go off the dribble, it's there.
Off a screen, Worthy against Mahorn. Kareem has hit 2 baskets. Rebound by Lane Beer. Piston guards look to penetrate. They need to score. Pistons feel that 2 out of their 3 guards have to score big in every game. That was Isaiah Thomas, who has 6 points. Vinnie Johnson will come off the bench, the microwave. He's the 3rd guard who's a weapon.
Real battle down inside now, Mahorn and Worthy.
Woolridge hits his first shot of the game off the bench. This is his first experience in an NBA final. Aguirre low against Woolridge. And a foul before the shot. It will not be a shooting situation.
See, if you're playing in this game tonight, you notice that any time you put the ball down on the floor with a dribble below the foul line, any body contact is called quickly. They are going to that call right away.
John Sally has reported to the game. And he replaces Rick Mahorn. Woolridge committing the foul, his first, and the 4th team foul against the Lakers. Sally is hit. So now we're starting to see the speed and high-flying and shot-blocking group of the Pistons. We'll see Rodman soon.
Watch how quick this double team comes. Now as Aguirre steps through, he sees in the lower part right there. But you see, Sally, any time that you get the double team today, and the double team comes from the other side of the lane, you've got to step to the front of the rim. So when that pass is delivered, you dunk this ball tonight.
Michael Thompson replaces Kareem, who goes out with 2 personal fouls. Thompson has averaged 2 more minutes a game playing than Kareem in the last season of Abdul-Jabbar. Sally, 1 out of 2 from the line. And you'll like Thompson. He's a very good post defender inside. Pistons by 1. Lakers already in the penalty. That was their 5th team foul. Here's Worthy. Over Sally. Sally's a tough defender with that size, but LA has the ball in a new clock.
James seems to be rushing his shots.
Cooper, who hit a 3 earlier, missed. And now the Pistons with the lead by 1 in the ball. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the opening period, and they'll call Woolridge for the foul. That'll be his second.
That was an excellent call. Orlando Woolridge is all upset, except he never moved his feet that time, and he took the dribbler Aguirre with a good body bump.
Here's a man who the Lakers fear, James Edwards. Underrated and dangerous. He could be a big factor, replaces Bill Laimbeer. And the Lakers figure that in all of the big scoring runs the Pistons have had in the playoffs, Edwards has been in the middle of every one of them.
That's because he plays his game from the foul line down, and they need that scoring threat down inside. James Edwards is a prime-time scorer, and I find it interesting how he can sit out almost all year, get limited minutes, and then a playoff time play so big.
1 free throw. 16-14 the Pistons. Broke out to a 5-point lead. The Lakers took advantage by 1, and now Detroit up. Here's Worthy, and Worthy has yet to make a shot. He is 0 for 5 from the field.
You know, that's not the bad stat. The 0 for 5 is fine, except he's missing the basket. He's overshooting the rim all the time, and I find that really kind of amazing.
Riley and Cooper upset the foul against Cooper. Here's Worthy again.
You'll see all of his shots are going over the top of the rim, not even catching the back rim. That is totally unnatural for a player who shoots such a high percentage as a James Worthy.
This is game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Pistons, who lost to the Lakers in 7 a year ago, will try to spoil the Lakers, who want to cap off a great decade. This is their 8th championship final in the decade. Only the Celtics had a better decade. That was in the 60s.
This is smart of Detroit. Make Magic give the ball up, work hard, run that clock down.
3:45 to go, first quarter. Worthy trying to get on track. Finally hits his first shot after missing his first 5. He's been the leading scorer for LA in postseason. Pistons by 2. Sally against Magic Johnson, and Woolridge gets the rebound, and the Lakers can tie it up. Magic Johnson throws to no one in particular, except maybe a photographer in the first row. Tony Campbell is reported to the game. He hasn't played all that much this year, but with Scott out and Cooper forced to start, they now have to play Campbell a lot in the backcourt. What does that mean, Hubie?
Well, Campbell is an excellent defensive player, according to their coaching staff. They like him very much. Look at that. Good feet and excellent hands.
By the way, he was once a #1 draft pick by the Pistons. Magic Johnson with a super end-to-end foray.
Just glided right down in there and lifted it up. Beautiful.
And why not? The MVP of the league this year. Campbell is guarding Thomas. They like the defense he can put on the guards.
This is the man.
Edwards, very tough to start, almost impossible when he gets it going.
Well, he has that fadeaway jump shot, and when you're over 7 foot and you go back at that angle, impossible to stop.
So the Pistons untie the game again after Magic had knotted it up. Close. First quarter, Tony Campbell. Rebound by Aguirre. Campbell has been known for his scoring in the Continental League. Thomas. Isaiah Thomas with 8 points is the high scorer for both teams.
Well, that's an area that you cannot allow Isaiah to get into, because once he gets on a roll, he would like to get inside of that foul line about 2 feet.
Timeout. And the Palace crowd likes what they see so far.
Back inside the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Pistons and the Lakers, game 1 of the NBA Finals, 22-18. And there was a time when the Detroit Pistons refused to talk about their bad boy image. We used to talk to them and say, let's talk about it. They said, no, no, not us. Now, what happens when you become an image? You have T-shirts for $18. You have hats. You have banners. You have handkerchiefs. This is a multi-million-dollar marketing business now. And Dick, you know, your mama used to say, don't grow up to be a bad boy. Wanna bet?
They also have the microwave, Pat. Vinnie Johnson, who's known as the microwave and can light it up in a hurry. And he has come in the game averaging 13 points in the playoffs, and when he gets going, there's no stopping him. Worthy. And good defense by Sally. Kept alive by Michael Thompson, but Sally causing Worthy problems.
Well, James got Sally got a piece of that shot that time. Once again, I feel that Worthy is releasing too quick. He should take a little bit more time.
2 minutes, under 2 minutes to go. Michael Thompson blocked by Sally. John Sally's already made a statement defensively in this game. Dumars. And with Isaiah Thomas out of the game, Dumars has to assume a scoring posture. Worthy gets free on a quick hitter, and that's how the Lakers have to get him underway.
Well, you see, anytime you play a big player, a 4-man on James Worthy, he's not accustomed to running that lane and getting to a guy as quick as him.
And a 4-man is a power forward in basketball lingo. Dumars hits 2 in a row, and the Detroit Pistons have their biggest lead of this first quarter. Winding down to a minute to go. Worthy with a finger roll that goes in, and now he's getting going. Worthy with 7 is the Laker high man. So the Detroit Pistons bench, so critical all year long, now a big factor in what they've got out there now. Aguirre is the only starter.
The Lakers switch all those little pick and rolls.
3 on the shot clock, and Aguirre with his 7th point.
Well, he's a big-time scorer, Dick. He's just got to get it going for them. It will really relieve the tension off of this group that's on the floor.
Thrown away again, Magic Johnson. You know, one thing, as you see Dennis Rodman and Mahorn come back in, without Byron Scott, they lose a lot of their rhythm because they always know where Byron Scott is. And right now, the Lakers look a little confused.
Well, I'll tell you a reason why that play went out of bounds. Magic is always accustomed to Scott faking and going back into the same corner for the 3. That's what he thought was going to happen that time. But, you know, you have to get a feel for a new player because Tony Campbell was not in that 8-man rotation that they played in the first 3 rounds.
4 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson. And the buzzer will sound, but the Pistons made 7 of their last 9 shots of the first quarter, and that is the end of the first period with the score. The Pistons 28 and the Lakers 22, and we'll return to the Palace after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals is sponsored by Plymouth and the 9 most important words Plymouth knows. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Honda Power Equipment, makers of the first lawnmower good enough to be a Honda.
Welcome back to CBS Sports coverage of the 1989 NBA Finals, along with Hubie Brown, Brent Musburger, and Pat O'Brien. This is Dick Stockton here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, where the Detroit Pistons have to allowing the Lakers only 22 points in the first quarter, have a 6-point lead. Here's the schedule. Thursday night, Game 2, 9 o'clock here in Detroit. The series moves to the Forum for 3, and if necessary, Games 5, 6, 7, and you see the final 2, if necessary, will be here at the Palace. Isaiah Thomas, with 8 points, has had an injured hand and a pulled hamstring muscle, and right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien. Pat?
If we can show the camera right here, Isaiah just asked for a heat pack and put it on that right hamstring. They're worried now that it's starting to tighten up on him. Something we'll be watching over here.
Thank you very much. So AC Green got hit, had a chipped tooth. He has not come back to the game as we start the second quarter. It's Joe Dumars and Vinnie Johnson at guard. Now, what kind of defense do the Lakers have here?
Well, it looks like the Lakers are in there 3-2 trapping defense. They'll make the trap, and then they'll scramble to play you man-to-man.
Dennis Rodman feeding Edwards inside. James Edwards, that's the way to beat it, and we saw it in the Chicago-Detroit series to get the ball to the middleman.
Once you get it in the middle and he turns and attacks, you have numbers behind them. Someone's going to get a good shot.
See, I learned from listening to you in that series.
There you go, big fella.
Aren't you happy? You reached me. Rodman, one of the best defenders in the league, is guarding Woolridge one-on-one. Foul. And Woolridge will go to the line, and Rodman picks up his first foul.
Now watch against the trap. There's the trap. They go to Rodman. Now as he elevates, he doesn't want the shot. See how he drops that ball down? The Detroit knows that once that ball gets to the foul line, the back people can go to the basket, and they will have a 2-on-1.
Here's a young man, Orlando Woolridge, who was in drug rehabilitation last year out in Los Angeles and felt that that would be the place to play, and now finds himself in his first NBA Finals after contributing mightily off the bench. You know, Jerry West over the years has done a terrific job picking up the likes of Bob McAdoo, Michael Thompson, and Woolridge to really help an already solid team.
Well, Jerry has been a real architect because he's brazen about the moves that he makes. Then Pat takes them and puts them into this chemistry that winning is paramount here. You submerge your talents into winning.
James Edwards already a threat on offense. Missed that time, out of bounds, and it's going to be Detroit ball. Minute gone by in the second quarter, and Pat Riley and Chuck Daly going at each other for the second straight year for the NBA title.
Well, the Detroit guards are off to a good start. They're 7 for 10 from the floor. They are the top 3 out of 4 scorers throughout the entire playoffs.
You can always tell how Detroit does by their backcourt score. Here's Edwards with that fall-away shot. He's missed his last 2, and it's with a good game so far off the boards, has 4 rebounds.
Well, he's very active, Dick. A quick body, an excellent jumper, quick jumper.
Vinnie Johnson is on Campbell. Off-balance shot. Not the best that Pat Riley wanted, and Detroit with a 6-point lead can match their biggest. Dumars, someone got a hand on it. Kareem. Mahorn missed. Detroit, second shots. That's their trademark all year long.
Well, their guards, Isaiah Thomas and Vinnie Johnson, really help out on the offensive board.
Here's Vinnie. Again, good defense by the Lakers. Out of the pack comes Woolridge, and here's Kareem.
Woolridge doing a great job on the boards and trying to advance the ball every time he rebounds.
The offensive rebounds pretty close. Detroit, the team that has dominated there all year. Magic Johnson just cut off Dumars cold on the baseline. Campbell played Vinnie Johnson well despite the fact that there's a foul.
Well, that's a tough cover for any guard in this league. Vinnie Johnson off a staggered curl is one of the toughest covers that we have.
Pistons have a 4-point lead, but surrounding this entire NBA final is the fact that this is the 18th and final journey for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You were an assistant coach at Milwaukee in '73 and '74 early in his career, and you got to know him then.
Well, when I think of Kareem, I think of excellence, durability, a player who is totally coachable, the ultimate team player. He does whatever the team needs. And then when you think about it, he always takes the big shot under pressure.
How has he changed personally, do you think, over the years?
Oh, very much outspoken. Back in those days, you know, Kareem would only say 1 or 2 sentences at a time. But the thing is, it was the depth of the sentence and what he had to say.
Isaiah Thomas is back in. Worthy and Cooper has checked in for the Lakers. Vinnie Johnson uses that sturdy body of his to get a basket and draw the foul as well.
You gotta love it tonight. This guy is down in the pack. He is really scrapping, Dick.
Meanwhile, the 3rd foul on Orlando Woolridge is a tough break for the Lakers here.
Now watch how he's coming off that pick. A fake, and then all he did was backdoor his man, forcing the Lakers to switch. But more important, he's a 6'3", 6'4" guard, and he elevated inside of 2 guys 6'10" and got off the shot.
Vinnie Johnson, who's been an excellent 3-point shooter thus far in the playoffs. So here are the lineups right now. The Lakers have Cooper in the backcourt, along with Worthy, Thompson, Woolridge, and Kareem. They have the big lineup in. Not as big as it could be, but it's pretty big. And Woolridge goes in. Trapped by Rodman and Kareem, and Rodman just beat Kareem for the loose ball off the board. Thomas. And a pushing foul inside, loose ball against the Lakers. What about this lineup, UB? We haven't seen it often. Cooper is really the only pure guard in there.
Well, they have 4 guys 6'9" or better. They've practiced this all year. They've used it occasionally. They feel they're not losing anything because Worthy can match up on the second guards.
Thompson committed the foul. Edwards didn't get the bounce. And Rodman and Cooper will jump it up.
There's the Worm doing his usual, fighting on the offensive glass. Talk about excitement. This guy can generate a crowd. You see how he is? When he leaps, he tries to tip the ball all the time and keep it alive.
I don't know if there's anyone more active in the game.
You know why I like them? They run no plays for this guy. The only way he gets the basketball is off the fast break or on a second shot.
Kickball and a new 24-second clock by the Pistons. Magic Johnson will come back in the game. Irvin with 6 points will replace Woolridge, who goes out with 3 personal fouls, but Woolridge has been a big man off the boards for the Lakers.
Right now, the Lakers are getting no loose balls. They're getting hurt on the offensive rebounding of Detroit.
Vinnie Johnson in the lane. You mentioned loose balls. That's what Pat Riley pounds through them. The effort plays, the loose balls, that he says was what wins.
I'm kind of surprised how easy Detroit is getting inside the foul line.
Biggest lead of the game for the Lakers, 9. Detroit, that is. Kareem cuts it to 7. 9-point lead by the Pistons. It's now a 7-point a game.
I'd say James Edwards had him in the lower back the entire time, and the big fella still knocked that one down.
8 for Abdul-Jabbar. Thomas, no basket. And it'll be a Laker foul, maybe Cooper. And it will be 3 on Michael Cooper.
You'll see in this situation here, Vinny getting down inside and just out-jumping a Michael Thompson at 6'10". You notice the elevation and how he faded on that shot to get it off.
14 fouls on the Lakers. 1 more there in the penalty again. The Pistons with only 1 team foul. Thomas picked up the ball like it was practice, and someone rolled it out. He picked it up and threw it in.
What I like about Detroit, they're making all their perimeter shots, so their inside game opens.
Magic Johnson goes in and draws the foul. We haven't seen the vintage Magic Johnson yet, but we will. That foul was on Vinnie Johnson. AC Green, who got hit in the mouth earlier, now back. And Cooper goes out. He has 3 fouls.
Well, Magic was the leading foul shooter in the league this year. Here we have total fouls. It's big because the Lakers cannot play Detroit so far off the dribble tonight.
But Detroit's supposed to be the aggressive, hard-hitting, bad boy team, and they've committed only 4 fouls thus far. What's happened?
What are you trying to tell me here?
Either I stumped you or something. I don't know.
No, because what is happening is basically they're staying perimeter, and in the low post, they're not double-teaming and hacking people. They're forcing them to shoot over the top of the defense.
So they're playing like nice boys.
Right, and here we have the trap.
Magic, a big part of that trap, by the way. It's 6'9". 5 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson slices in. Edwards keeps it alive. Boy, the Pistons are really getting all the loose balls, it seems, in this first half.
Oh, you're right, Dick.
Edwards. And it's Lakers ball after all of that. Chuck Daly, who turned the franchise around. They're the leading scorers. Kareem with a very good first half with 8 points. No surprise that Isaiah Thomas has 10.
Well, look at this. Detroit in a little bit of a matchup here. A little bit of a matchup zone. Oops, I'm sorry. Trapping defense.
That's right. You said the magic word.
Yes.
The sky comes down. It gives you $100 or something. We're back here at the Palace, where the Lakers have committed more than twice as many fouls as the Detroit Pistons. Scott, of course, the great shooting guard, out for the Lakers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the top scorer for LA right now. Well, 1 year is a big difference to Isaiah Thomas as he reflects on something that Kevin McHale of the Celtics said to him in last year's playoffs.
You know, Kevin said something to me last year walking off the court of the 6th game in the Eastern Conference Finals. He said, hey, don't be happy just to be there. Go there and beat them. I wasn't old enough to understand the good advice that I was getting. I'm old enough now to go back and understand the advice that was given.
Well, you know, that's a player who wants that ring so badly, but he also wants to elevate his own game, and it's a mind game with him. And we have talked an awful lot during the year, and he feels that he's getting better vision of the open floor and making more things happen. Here we have that trap.
Rodman steals the ball from Magic.
Oh, yes.
Vinnie Johnson tipped up by Rodman. So far, Magic Johnson is not in this game.
Excellent defensive transition by the Lakers that time to prevent that layup. Here's this matchup again. Now you'll see a trap right there. Quickness of feet. You got to get it into the middle.
Michael Thompson. 37-31 the Pistons. Lakers scrapping back nearly halfway through the second period. James Edwards goes up, gets the foul and the basket. Now you know why James Edwards is playing virtually this entire first half instead of the starter, Bill Laimbeer.
You'll see a very aggressive move by James. He has that baby hook shot, then he has the fadeaway jump shot if he's coming off the dribble. If he takes it in the low post area, he has the fadeaway shot. So he's giving you multiple looks tonight.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will sit down with 3 fouls, replaced by Tony Campbell. Kareem has scored 8 points and is the leading scorer for the Lakers. Joe Dumars is now in the game for Detroit. Palace of Auburn Hills, 21,454. They've sold out every game and have drawn over 1 million. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Brent Musburger, and Pat O'Brien. Game 1, best of 7 for the NBA championship. Lakers and Pistons. Right now it's been Pistons as James Worthy tries to bring the Lakers back. And he gets the hoop and a foul with 5:49 remaining in the first half. Magic talking things over. How do you rate Magic's performance so far?
Well, what they're trying to do is establish James Worthy and Kareem in the low game. They're getting what they want. But because they are struggling, I thought we might see more of Magic passing and posting up the smaller guards. I thought that would come into effect.
Mahorn is out with 2 fouls and Sally is in. Worthy missed the chance for a 3-point play.
But you notice James is taking a lot more time on his moves now, and he's scoring.
The trapping defense again. They get it to Rodman. Touch pass, Sally. That's the way to break it, and the Pistons have done it. Again, a 9-point lead.
Can't do it any better. It's a clinic.
Dumars is guarding Magic Johnson. Sally against Worthy. He's caused him problems earlier with the matchup.
See, this is what I thought we would see more of.
Magic with a left-handed hook. Rodman the rebound. stolen by Magic on the pass out by Rodman, and the Lakers get a quick, easy basket.
When you play this game, when you first start out in grammar school, they tell you never throw the ball back in bounds underneath that basket. And here it is. That club can steal that pass and lay it right back up.
The old Sixer, Bobby Jones, made a career out of plays like that. Thomas trying to beat Campbell off the dribble. Very nearly does. You see the Lakers having a problem because of the layoff. They've been off almost 9-10 days.
No, I think they're getting what they want. They just have not been putting the ball in the basket.
Which is what this game is all about. Campbell foul. What do they say? There are only two good plays. South Pacific can put the ball in the basket.
Oh, nice. Well, the Detroit guys are getting the extra shots here, the extra 10. Where is it coming from? All the loose balls, plus the fact they're getting on the offensive board.
And a big hand for James Edwards as he leaves the game with 9 points off the bench and causing the Lakers considerable headache as Laimbeer replaces him.
Oh, big difference between the players here, their style of play.
So basically what we've seen are contributions from Edwards, Rodman, and Sally. So in effect, the subs become the starters on this team.
Well, why should it be any different than the Chicago series?
Nice save by Rodman. Lakers are struggling from the free throw line. Thomas. He'll kill you in the paint every time.
He loves to get into that area. It's a strange shot. It's 10 feet away, and he swishes it. Very difficult to do.
4:15 remaining in the first half. Pistons have named their tune in this one. Thompson. Good defense. Sally was right in the middle of it. Laimbeer.
Great look.
And Campbell with the interception.
Great look and excellent transition defense by Tony Campbell.
Worthy up over Sally. Green trying to get position, and it's still going to be Lakers ball.
In this sequence, watch Magic trying to make his move, and there you have Laimbeer quickly on the double team. But hey, how about how fast Magic Johnson read that and got it to the free man.
Aguirre, who scored 7 when he started the game, has come in for Rodman, who gets a big hand. Rodman with 6 rebounds already. Race for the loose ball.
Once again,
Dumars, but he couldn't control it. Worthy wide open. Those are automatic when Worthy is in stride, and instead a loose ball foul called against LA, and when it rains it pours.
Well, Michael Thompson knew that he got caught pushing off. Pat Riley's seeing a little frustration here because he thought that Michael might have been able to get that rebound without the push.
Despite the fact that the Lakers are out shooting the Pistons by a substantial margin in the second quarter, Detroit nevertheless has opened up their biggest lead of the game. And here is Isaiah Thomas. You know, Hubie, when people talk about comparing Thomas with great players around the league like Magic and Bird, and he's only 6'1". I think people have to take advantage or take into consideration the fact that the guy is only 6'1".
And he's so durable. Even when he had the hairline fracture in his left hand, he only missed a couple of games. I mean, most people would not have come back and even tried to test it.
Lead is 11. That's the top one. And a Detroit foul. Both teams are in the penalty, and it's on Laimbeer, his second foul. No one on Detroit has 3 personal fouls as of yet. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Cooper, and Orlando Woolridge all have 3 for the Lakers.
Well, you see Kareem sitting here. Between he and Michael Thompson during the course of the season, you know, the Lakers are getting 20 points and right around 10 rebounds out of that position. Now, when you think about it, that's a nice distribution because their main 3 guys are Magic Johnson, Worthy, and Scott. So for that intangible position, 20 points and 10 rebounds, kind of powerful.
Pick and roll, Laimbeer. He has been struggling in the playoffs. He has not been shooting well. Yet here the Pistons are in game 1 trying to win their first title. Worthy Magic, two-man game.
There it is.
They got Sally to go in the air, and they drew the foul, and Worthy will shoot a pair.
See, a great player like James Worthy is always in the top percentage shooters in the league. Well, he will grasp what the defense is doing and then give you more moves.
Back here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, as the events in China have taken center stage in world events. 2:49 remaining in the first half. Detroit's been leading virtually all the way. And right now, let's go over to Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Well, Dick, the Lakers feel like they're really handcuffed here now and starting to feel the loss of Byron Scott and the foul trouble. Riley and his coaching staff are feeling a little handcuffed. There's also some talk that the Lakers might be just a little sluggish, contrary to what they thought before, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Back to the table.
All right, Pat, you know, they worked very hard in Santa Barbara, California. Certainly a picturesque place, not for working hard, but they did during that long layoff as Detroit and Chicago went to 6 games of the series. And, you know, Hubie, I don't care what anyone says, not playing an opponent during that time has to take something out of you, and I think it shows in game 1.
Well, the coaching staff was extremely happy with the effort that they had. They only had 1 day of double sessions, worked very hard the other days, and they felt that they were ready. But remember, we're taking out a key player in Byron Scott.
Dumars, top of the key, puts a fake on Campbell. And the rebound by Green. So the Lakers, despite the fact that they've been looking uphill throughout this first half, can trail by only 5 if they score here. Campbell trying to post up against Isaiah Thomas. 8 on the shot clock. Campbell. Rebound by Dumars. They had a pick and roll. Campbell didn't see it. And Tony knocks it away, but it's still Pistons ball.
He's uncanny of how he can knock the ball away from a dribbler. You know, especially for a guy his size. He's tall, but he's got the quick hands.
And there's pressure on him. Now, all of a sudden, he's got to be a key man off the bench after seeing sporadic action all year. Under 2 minutes to go, and it looks like a takedown in college wrestling, doesn't it, as Magic Johnson covers up his friend Isaiah.
A little less than that time. Watch this now. Watch out. We'll get a little bit of a double team here off the pick and roll. You'll see the switch by Magic, and then the movement to try to pick it up.
Is that 2 points or 1 point on the reversals?
I don't know. What do you get for a takedown?
Here's Magic's reaction. He picked up his first personal foul and said, "Who, me?" Thomas with 15 points. You know, it's interesting. They've been quiet 15 points. He has spread them out pretty much. But the Pistons knew they needed scoring from this man. They were going to hang in there with the Lakers. And he's got 16 already, 8 in each quarter. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Double team on Magic. Green, top of the key, hits it.
Now that is something which has been missing out of the arsenal. We have not seen it, mainly because of the foul trouble and also the injury to the face.
McGuire posting up against Green. Will have a foul before the shot. And it'll be on James Worthy. Green, that's 3 on Green. And going in, McGuire felt confident he could work on him from his days at Dallas.
Well, Mark McGuire is a primetime scorer. We're talking about a guy now who has scored, you know, one of the top scorers in the league for years and years. So it isn't like he hasn't done it before. His Dallas team just 2 seasons ago got to the final 7 games in the Western Conference versus the Lakers, and he was the top gun.
The Pistons are 42-8 since Mark McGuire joined the team in the trade for Adrian Danley.
See, the referees have been very consistent tonight, Dick. Every time you try to take a guy below that foul line off the dribble and there's bumping, they're making the call.
The lead is 8, 49-41. Here is Detroit with a little half-court pressure.
See, we're seeing a lot of trapping tonight to get you out of your pattern, your half-court patterns, and freelance.
Magic into Michael Thompson with a superb play, and he left Joe Dumars in the dust.
You know, he makes it look so easy.
You know, sooner or later, Magic Johnson's going to be a factor in the game. Here's a great defensive play by Michael Thompson. Now the Lakers trailing by 6.
Beautiful.
Magic in the lane, gets the basket in the foul, and the Lakers are making a late run in this first half.
Well, you see, Magic is just, you know, taking the up. He watches his eyes. He beats it now. Now he sees the crease. He wants to take it all the way. On the play before, watch the stagger, and he has the presence to make that pass. How about that pinpoint splitting the two Detroit players?
Here's a guy we didn't expect to see, Jeff Lamp, replacing Green, who goes out with 3 fouls. 4 Lakers are hampered with 3 fouls, and Jeff Lamp out of the University of Virginia, hurt all of last year, and he rarely played this season.
Yeah, but Pat's just trying to grab 58 seconds here so that none of his key players get the next big foul.
The lead is 3, 49-46 in favor of Detroit. Thomas into Lambier.
That was beautiful. Isaiah said, hey, wait a second. A new guy on me? Let me take him off the dribble.
Inside to Worthy. Worthy misses. Lambier the rebound. Outlet.
Ooh, look out.
Thomas feeding Rodman. And Detroit answering the Lakers thrust. Coming up at halftime, Brent Musburger. And a look at 3 close friends, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Mark Aguirre. There's the shot clock, differential of 5 seconds. The lead is 7. Lamp hits a big shot with 9 seconds to go.
Excellent shooter, was a great player in the ACC for Virginia, and then when he came in, he's been able to hang around because of his shot.
There's the final seconds ticked off in the half. Thomas goes to Rodman. The basket counts. No time showing on the clock. And a foul.
Isaiah at his best. Watch how he threads the needle here. Rodman never thought that pass was going to get through. They caught the defensive player falling asleep underneath the basket on Rodman.
And Rodman misses the free throw, but the Lakers, who had cut the Piston lead to 3, lead now by 7. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Pistons 55 and the Lakers 48. Brent Musburger will return with the Prudential at the half after this message.
CBS Sports presents the Prudential at the half, sponsored by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Well, our score here at the half, 55-48, and 21 of those points for the Pistons have been scored by their bench. Here is high-flying Dennis Rodman for 2 of them. And welcome back, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome to our Prudential at the half. We've got some big baseball developments unfolding. The Chicago Cubs have done it again. They have won 15 of their last 20 games. This afternoon it was 8-4. They made it 2 in a row over the Mets, although the Mets did turn in a triple play. Line drive by Law. Magadan's got it. Retires. The runner at first throws on to Calvin Elster at second, but that was the bright moment of the game as far as the Mets were concerned. For the Cubs, Dwight Smith, a 2-run homer. And again, the Cubs make it 2 in a row. This time they beat Bobby Ojeda. They're in the middle of a 4-game series, and the final was 8-4. How about Kevin Mitchell? 2 more home runs he has slugged already in this doubleheader, but as you can see, Cincinnati wins the first game against the Giants to momentarily jump into first place. But they had to overcome this 3-run homer by Mitchell in the first inning. That was his 20th of the season with 59 RBIs. Now he has come back and slammed his 21st in the second game. And as a result, Big Daddy Rick Russell holds that lead over the Cincinnati Reds in the second game of their doubleheader. The Yankees are a final. They shut out the red-hot Baltimore Orioles 4-0. The Orioles had come in with an 8-game winning streak. Don Mattingly staking the Yankees to an early lead. He slugs his 4th home run of the season in the first inning. And the Yankees go on to beat the red-hot Orioles by a score of 4-0. College World Series. Wichita State survives an elimination game tonight. They knock out Arkansas 8-4. And their talented young catcher, Eric Wedge, who has major league potential, slammed this home run. It was his 23rd of the season. And Wichita State now advances on. They will take on unbeaten Florida State in their next game. In the other losers game going on right now between Miami and LSU, it's in the 4th inning, and LSU holds a 1-0 lead. The survivor there moves on to take on Texas. Well, the NBA, probably the hottest story around the league is who will coach the New York Knicks. As you're aware, John McCloud of the Dallas Mavericks has turned down the possibility. Some other candidates are Phil Jackson, a former Knicks star and now an assistant coach with Doug Collins and the Chicago Bulls. He declines comment. Also, there is Mike Fratello. He is the head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. He too declines comment. But both happen to be in Chicago right now. Al Bianchi, the very fine general manager of the Knicks, is in town, so he can speak with both of them. A third candidate is Dick Motta. Normally, he's a radio broadcaster with the Pistons, but right now he is over in Europe conducting a clinic. Motta not available for comment, but a source has told us he will take the Knick job if it is offered to him. Well, we're going to come back and show you the story about a trio of stars in this game known as the Three Amigos, Magic, Mark, and Isaiah, when we continue after this message and a word for your local stations. How important is Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Well, nearly 70% of the teams that have won Game 1 have captured the championship. And here at the half, the Pistons with a lead over the Lakers. And there are so many stories in this World Championship, from Kareem to the Bad Boys to three-peat to revenge, but none really as special as the reunion of three friends. And Pat O'Brien was able to sit down with the three yesterday for a very warm conversation.
Their faces and their names are as familiar as your neighbors. They are champions. They are all-stars. They are best friends who have found themselves playing basketball in the big time. In fact, it doesn't get any bigger than this.
One or two of us are going to have the championship after it's over.
You got it. You want one for the thumb now?
Well,
No!
He told us he wanted to fill this hand, all right? That's right now, yeah, it's over with.
see, I can't take this. Two against one. See, I'm not going to win.
This gathering of friends began in 1979 when a high school kid named Isaiah Thomas was lighting them up in Chicago. Across town, his schoolyard rival, Mark Aguirre, had graduated to college and was debuting in his first NCAA tournament for DePaul. The same tournament where we all met somebody named Magic. And it was there that the magical friendship took off.
Mark came back after the Final Four, and he's like, man, you got to meet Irvin. Oh, he's so cool. And I had just seen him diamond, you know, laying it up. And I was like, I was in high school. Oh, please, you know, meet him. And so finally, you know, he you know, said, well, you got to meet him. And so finally he took me down to Lansing. And I was like, where is Lansing? Lansing, Michigan? They got basketball players there?
So, Magic, do you feel like these guys are going to gang up on you this series?
I know that it's going to be tough because Detroit is better, and I know that they're both so hungry. You know, they've been so upset at me telling them every summer how it is, and let me see the ring and so on, that they don't really want to come to my house anymore and hear me talk about the championship. They want me to come to their houses and have them tell me how sweet it was to ride through the parade. So I understand. They think I don't know, but I do know, and it's there. And
Grandpa.
that's what they call it.
Grandpa.
Laughter and friendship has its place, but it's not here. Not when there's a championship to be won. And grandpas are supposed to send you presents, silver dollars. This grandpa sends his youngsters to the foul line, and they'll be pointing fingers for years.
I saw you hit him
But
first.
I'm going to tell you.
Zeke, I
That's
saw
right.
him hit you
See?
first.
See?
Yeah,
I
you
saw
pushed
him
me.
hit you first.
Yeah, you pushed me.
But then I seen you hit him.
No, I'm going to tell you. But, yeah, he hit me, but I'm going to tell you who hit the hardest. When Dallas
That's
played
right. That's
LA.
right. Thank
He
you.
busted your mouth
That little cut right up here.
That's right.
That
That's
one
right.
there, man.
Thank you for bringing that up.
If you are lucky enough to have a friend you consider a brother, then you know all about these three. And if you are lucky enough to have fulfilled your dreams, then you know what these friends are going through. And even if they weren't superstars, this would surely be a story worth telling and worth the lessons we can all learn from Magic, Mark, and Isaiah.
no matter what happens, we still know our friendship is bigger than the world championship. That's what it's about.
And Grandpa Magic Johnson has been outscored 24-12 by the two Pistons here in the first half. Isaiah Thomas leading the way with 16 points. So we'll come back with Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown, the second half of the first game of the NBA Finals, right after these messages.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals is sponsored by Diet Pepsi. Make a fast break for great taste. Diet Pepsi, taste that's generations ahead. Pizza Hut, home of America's favorite pan pizza. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
Welcome back to CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the 1989 NBA Finals. Halfway through Game 1, and the Detroit Pistons have a 7-point lead, 55-48. And the four things that the Pistons need to do to win, they are doing right now. Tough defense, rebounding, great bench play, and scoring by the guards. And just a couple of minutes ago, Hubie Brown had this conversation with Lakers head coach Pat Riley.
All right, Pat, are you satisfied with the shot selection?
Well, I think the thing that's hurting us the most, Hubie, is that their guard quickness right now is breaking us down, and they're +8 on the boards. But we have to work harder, obviously, for our shots, but they're shooting a good percentage. And second half, we have to compete more in that area with their guards, and we have to definitely execute our offense.
Well, good luck.
Okay.
And while Hubie was talking to Pat Riley, I was talking to Chuck Daly. He said that he feels the Pistons are rushing their shots. He says our break is pathetic, but he said, I love our intensity. He said, in fact, we want to win so bad, maybe we're too intense. Go back to you, Dick.
All right, Pat. Well, the Lakers closed the gap to 3 points with a minute and a half left in the half, but the Pistons finished with a 6-2 run, giving them the lead they have. So as we start the second half, it's Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas in the backcourt for Detroit in white. Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, and Mark McGuire up front. Thomas misses the shot. Now the Lakers, they have Cooper, who's playing instead of Byron Scott, who's out for 2 games, and Magic Johnson at guard. And up front, it's James Worthy, A.C. Green, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic leads the Lakers with 12. Isaiah with 16 tops the Pistons. Kareem. Rebound Mahorn. Just moved everyone out. Thomas the floor general. Mahorn gets a screen from Isaiah, and it's all Lakers underneath. Thomas is on Cooper. Left open for the 3. Off the mark, he hit one early, and Cooper's been cold since then.
Mahorn is doing an excellent job at clearing the ball.
Great move by Dumars around Michael Cooper and Joe Dumars.
Both teams are a little cold here early, Dick, in regards to hitting the rim.
It was Isaiah, who has 18 points.
Down inside, we have Kareem and Laimbeer. They call an offensive foul on Kareem. Kareem is upset because Laimbeer is using the forearm on him and will not allow him to post up where he wants to post up.
Meanwhile, that's his 4th foul, and he has to come out of the game.
You'll see Kareem trying to come across there now, and Laimbeer, moving him with his arms. And here's Kareem taking him out of there, but let's face it, Laimbeer did move back rather gingerly there.
Here is the pick and roll of Mahorn from Thomas. Out of bounds, it's still Detroit ball. So Kareem is out with 4 personal fouls, and Michael Thompson replaced him. And Isaiah Thomas, who scored that last basket, has 18 to lead all scorers.
Mahorn a little upset there. That was a beautiful pass from Zeke. He just blew that layup.
Dumars wide open, left of the key, nails it. Now Dumars scores.
Got to be impressed with their guards. The Detroit guards are playing a great ball game, making the outside shots.
2 out of 3 have to do it each game, and 2 out of 3 are doing it. A.C. Green hits from the top now, and it's 59-50 Detroit. The only lead for the Lakers tonight, 11-10 in the first quarter.
Wire calling.
3-point attempt and a 3-point basket by Thomas, and you can just see the confidence in the Pistons shooters here. And a 12-point lead opened up now by Detroit. They outshot the Lakers 51-45%. Magic feeds Michael Thompson, and he gets fouled. Good penetration by Irvin.
Magic read that double team so well. As soon as he knew that he was defensed by a big man, he looked right to the front of the rim. Excellent pass to Thompson.
Without Scott, Detroit's backcourt scoring edge becomes more pronounced, of course. So here's Michael Thompson, who wants to be the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, where he is from someday. He'll have to hit the free throws in order to get some votes, though, right?
He's been a major plus. Through the entire season, he's been extremely steady, where Woolridge and Cooper have vacillated up and down type of performances. He's been a steady influence on that ball club.
2.5 minutes going by in the third. Cooper staying with Thomas. Green the rebound. The lead is 11, but the Lakers always capable of running off those tremendous scoring schemes that get them back in the game or break it open. Cooper given the shot, and Aguirre with the board. Dumars and Magic playing cat and mouse out there. Dumars puts it up. Boy, the guards can't miss for Detroit tonight, and that usually spells win. Timeout, LA. Second timeout called by Pat Riley, and Joe Dumars, who does everything you want from a guard. He can score if you need it. He can play defense. He's quiet. He's a team man all the way, out of McNeese State in Louisiana. And who was his idol when he was in college?
Isaiah Thomas. He said, I respect him. I never thought that a small man could dominate an NBA game. But remember about Joe Dumars, he's still the 17th leading scorer, Division I, in the history of NCAA basketball.
Mighty impressive, you.
Scorer's mentality, Dick.
Meanwhile, the biggest lead of the game, owned by Detroit, is 13. And a push-off foul against Michael Thompson. And that may be 4 on him. No, that's 3. 3 on Thompson. The Lakers have played this entire game in foul trouble. In fact, in the first quarter, they seemed to have 4 men with 2 fouls, and then they added to that.
They just cannot get into their rhythm, their sync, you know, the feeling, the confident area.
Aguirre has it blocked by Worthy.
Now, you can't throw up soft stuff like that in this game. There are guys flying at you from all over to go for that shot block.
Magic lost it to Lambeer, claimed he was fouled. Aguirre. And he'll call the foul inside as Aguirre went in, and he is on the deck. Slow getting up, and the foul was on Michael Cooper. That's his 4th foul. 4 on Cooper.
Watch Michael Cooper come out of the side now from the right. He goes for the shot block. He's an excellent leaper, but he catches Aguirre with the body.
There is no question to this point that the loss of Byron Scott has had a significant effect on the Los Angeles Lakers, if for nothing else than they are, as you pointed out of sync and out of rhythm without their great scoring guard in there.
I think that where they miss him the most is in a transition. He's so quick running on the outside lane, and then he runs to that right corner for you, and he gives you that long three-point or jump shooting threat. That's what they miss, and then they run underneath you. They don't have that tonight.
Like you say, they always know where he is. There's the foul story, and Detroit is pretty good at this point. They put on a trap defense against the Lakers.
This has been a nice disruption by the Detroit defense through the entire game. It's buying them time.
Woolridge, who replaced Cooper, hits the basket, and it's 66 to 53. Look how low their shooting percentage is compared to the earlier playoffs, and you can credit Detroit's great defense. Dumars against Worthy.
Nice.
Great move. That's the move of the night. Joe Dumars around James Worthy.
Now that was pretty. That's a guy with nothing making it something.
Woolridge trying to post up, lost his footing. Michael Thompson draws the foul. You know, Hubie, another place where they miss Byron Scott is on the point guard penetration where Thomas has done so well. But here's Joe Dumars with a super move.
Watch how he just leveled off Worthy that time, did a beautiful crossover move. As soon as he caught the defensive player parallel with the feet, boom, he beat him. Beautiful move.
Bill Laimbeer becomes the first Piston to chalk up 3 personal fouls, and the Laker free throw shooting woes continue. They have now missed 7 of 17.
Now there's a guy who's a little confident right now, breathing easy right now.
You think Chuck ever breathes easy, Hubie? You know him. You were assistants at Duke together. Come on.
Now what you'd like is the game to end right now. The Lakers in their 1-3-1 trap now.
Laimbeer with a quick pop.
First time they showed it, but the right-hand corner is always open.
16-point Piston lead as they open it up here with a strong third quarter. And a turnover. Let's see. They'll call the foul instead on Laimbeer. That'll be 4 on Bill Laimbeer. And a timeout with 6:39 remaining in the third. Sometimes the name of the game defensively is to deny the player from getting the ball, Hubie.
Here we have AC Green moving. Now watch how Rick Mahorn, as soon as he feels AC's going to make a move, he gets that forearm right in his chest or on Worthy. As Worthy makes the move now, you'll see him recover. Now watch how he will try to deny on the next pass right there. You see the arm right in the area. Beautiful.
Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien. Patrick?
Dick, from the Laker bench, the thing they're talking about are rebounds. Theirs and Dennis Rodman. Rodman has 7. It's 31-24 Pistons. And they're also, this last huddle, talking about they're not stopping anybody. They're going to try to do that now. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, the Lakers' defense has improved dramatically this year. This used to be strictly a Showtime blitz team, but they have become a blue-collar club in a lot of ways. They can play half-court and win, and their defense has improved dramatically. But they're up against a tough defense tonight anyway, and Detroit is up by 16. Magic Johnson along with Woolridge, Green, Worthy, and Michael Thompson. Trying to pass the ball crisply. Magic for 3. Rebound, McGuire. Quick out with Dumars. Thomas. Kept alive on the other side by Aguirre. And they'll call the foul, offensive foul.
On a clear out, on Aguirre that time off the dribble, Dick. You know what's pointing today is how slowly the Lakers are getting to Detroit defensively in the half-court offense.
Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mahorn on Worthy. Green. Lakers are just not getting good shots.
No second shots. That's the big problem.
16-point lead. Detroit led by 6 after 1 quarter and 7 at the half. 9 on the shot clock for Isaiah Thomas now. Fake. Dumars with 1 second on the clock hits it. A 2-point basket. And Joe Dumars has 14. The starting guards have 35 points for Detroit.
Mahorn working really hard. We can't emphasize enough how tough Mahorn is with that forearm in your chest, not allowing you to go where you want to go, and if you do, he punishes you.
Lakers with only 1 basket in the last 5.5 minutes. Two-time defending world champions on the short end. Worthy with a quick move baseline. The basket counts and a foul, and Worthy with 13 now assumes the scoring leadership.
Watch how quick Worthy makes this move to the baseline. He has not shown this move all night. See, he gave a look like a fake to the middle, and then the strong and quick move.
Mahorn with his 3rd foul. Tony Campbell replaces AC Green. Green goes out with 4 points. And here's James Worthy on the free throw line, the MVP in last year's NBA Finals. You can see the Lakers have not had any points from their guards, and that means that loss of Byron Scott even more magnified. And as we pointed out too, he would have been guarding Isaiah Thomas and maybe keeping him out of the paint for those jumpers.
Well, you know, it's impressive. That means the Detroit guards are not only scoring, but they are doing a terrific job at the other end of the floor.
Thrown away by Edwards. Worthy picking his spots. Campbell lays it in. One thing the Lakers know, having been down this road many times, is that they don't have to rush. There is plenty of time. 4.5 to go in the third, and they're down by 13. And if they get an under 10 after 3, they're all right.
See, the Lakers are in their 1-3-1 half-court trap.
And Isaiah Thomas, drawing the foul, fired it up. He knew he was hit, and now will go to the line to shoot, too. Team fouls, the Lakers with 3 and the Pistons with 4. Vinnie Johnson will check back in. The microwave has scored only 5 thus far.
Now this young man, Isaiah Thomas, is really taking the challenge tonight. Every time they get into that trap, he is dribbling right through the trap.
Well, you pointed out, every time he's had a big scoring game, the Pistons have won in postseason. So Vinnie Johnson will replace Joe Dumars. There's Vinnie. And Rick Mahorn goes out. You saw Dennis Rodman get off the bench, so you know that the Lakers are going to have to worry about those rebounds, particularly off the offensive glass. One free throw that time by Thomas.
See, the Lakers have a very big team in there right now. The smallest guy is Tony Campbell at 6'7" as the off guard. The problem with this is they lose the quickness and they do not have the real deep perimeter shooting.
4 on the shot clock. Magic Johnson trying to create something, and Worthy misses. They got the shot off in time. Who can they take advantage of with that big lineup?
Well, what they're trying to do is to look down inside to post up the people.
Edwards, open, hits it. 11 for James Edwards tonight.
You got to be impressed not only with the guard play, but the defensive rebounding of Detroit. They're only giving the Lakers 1 shot, and then they're pushing the ball hard.
Again, the lead is 16 for the Pistons. And he'll call Aguirre, I believe, with the foul. Nope, it's Thomas with his second personal.
Now watch how quick that all the white shirts are reacting to a penetration by Magic Johnson. That looked like 1st and 10, or at least a goal line defense.
I made better spares than that in the bowling lane. Michael Thompson and the Lakers are getting some free throws and making it tough on themselves.
Well, anytime you get in there, Dick, they're punishing you. They're making you go to the foul line, and the Lakers cannot make their foul shots.
He missed them both. They have missed 9 of 21.
See, if you're struggling offensively and shooting a low percentage, then you must get the easy putbacks, or if you don't get that, you got to make your foul shots. Here's the trap. Now they match up man to man.
4 on the shot clock. Campbell swiping at the ball, and Isaiah Thomas hits it. He got loose and got around Campbell. And look at the Lakers on the bench. Their face tells the story. Campbell, no basket. Offensive foul, L.A.
Oh, that was an excellent call. Tony Campbell is really upset, but he warded off the defensive player with his forearm.
Back inside the Palace of Auburn Hills. We are here tonight for Game 1, and we will be here again Thursday night for Game 2. And what a scene this place is. And I'm sitting with the owner, Bill Davidson, who's got to be one of the happiest, if not the happiest people here. What has turned this around for you, Bill?
Well, we built up over a period of years, and now we got a team that can challenge the Lakers. Naturally, we thought we should have won last year, but this year we're ready.
You got to look at this and just feel great, huh?
Yeah, terrific. Really enjoyed it. We built this in the last year, and we're enjoying the hell out of it.
It's rocking here. Thank you, Bill. Back to you, Dick.
All right, Pat, and the Pistons with an 18-point lead, their biggest of the game, have outscored the Lakers 22-11 in this third quarter. And the Lakers have their work cut out for them right now. They have a long road back. They didn't start out sharp. They hung in there, cut the lead to 3 just before the end of the half. But it's been all Detroit.
The toughest thing tonight for the Lakers has been the fact that they cannot knock down a shot. But then they do not have an offensive rebound. Not one offensive rebound in the second or third quarter. Now that is an incredible stat.
Speaks volumes for Hustle. Edwards trapped. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Here's Aguirre going strong to the hoop. And Maguire now with 12 points. Isaiah leads Detroit with 24. Dumars with 14. Then Maguire with 12 and Edwards with 11 off the bench. Magic has scored 12. No shot. And again, Detroit's defense inside cuts him down. Winding down to 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Thomas. Rebound inside. And Woolridge blocked Aguirre's shots. Magic going all the way this time. Short on the finger roll. Vinnie Johnson. Rodman walked. I think that's the first traveling violation we've had all night, Hubie.
You know, it's a little bit like bowling for dollars right now, okay? Nothing is happening. We have guys going down the lane, hitting the floor. We have 3 on 2 fast breaks. The ball's rolling out of bounds. Come on.
Oh, we're setting up the grand finale.
There we go.
1:40 on the clock. 20-point lead for Detroit. Campbell, wild shot. Rodman the rebound. Knocked away.
Watch Isaiah Thomas now come in here and take Magic's charge. Not bad for a little guy. And look how far he went now. Hey, listen, he should at least get a trophy for the longest slide tonight. That was at least 15 feet.
And he was still out. Cooper is in for Magic Johnson. They go low now to Worthy. Campbell, basket and a foul.
Yeah, I like what Tony Campbell's doing tonight. He is really active. You know, he's just out of sync on the shot, but then again, he's been sitting on the bench for many a game at playoff time. But he's looking for the shot, Dick, and he's making it happen, and he's doing a nice job for them defensively.
John Sally. Sally is in, and Rodman will go out. Magic Johnson thinking about things with 12 points in the game, as the Lakers have not been a big factor. And their 16-game winning streak, including 11-0 in the playoffs, is in dire jeopardy here with 1:09 remaining in the third quarter.
Well, when you look at the Lakers, you're saying, hey, no Showtime fast break tonight. You can't fast break if they keep scoring, because their defense is making nothing happen in turnovers. Then they are getting no second shots. So if you can't hit your field goals, where do the easy baskets come from tonight? Doing a nice job here, Dick, stretching that zone trap out.
Aguirre misses from the corner, and they're going to call Edwards with the foul over Campbell, and that'll be 3 on James Edwards. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Brent Musburger, and Pat O'Brien here at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And the Lakers, who have won 11 in a row. Those are the teams that were unbeaten coming into the finals, and the Red Stars indicate those who won the world title. But no one had ever won as many as 11 straight coming into the finals before.
Playing on top of their game, red hot. The defense held all of the teams far below their averages that they played. You know, Phoenix, Portland, and Seattle. And then their offense was really well tuned.
You know, for the record, in the regular season, Detroit beat the Lakers twice. But there should be an asterisk there. First of all, Adrian Dantley was in the lineup for both games for Detroit, and Magic Johnson missed one of them for the Lakers. So we'll disregard that. That's not a factor. Illegal defense against the Lakers. That's their first, so each team has been hit with one of those calls.
See, Pat Riley is trying to come back into this game with his trap. Up until now, the trap has not forced any turnovers, and Detroit has done an excellent job in taking their time to get the free shots.
Here's one, Dumars. Tipped up and missed by Sally Thompson with the board. 15-point lead, so the Lakers have cut 5 points off of Detroit's margin here in the last 2 minutes of this half, the third quarter. James Worthy nails it, and now it's 79-66. And all of a sudden, it's a 13-point game in the final seconds of the period.
See if they can get some turnovers, some bad field goal percentage attempts, and then get the fast break. We have not seen any Laker 2-on-1s tonight.
Final seconds of the quarter. Missed. With 1 second to go, it'll be Laker ball. Do you think that pride runs deep for L.A. after being really the team of this decade in a big way?
Yeah, but it's an inspirational thing. This ball club knows that they can win this championship.
Well, they've scored the last 7 points of this quarter, and that is the end of the third period with the score. The Pistons still comfortable at 79, the Lakers 66, and we'll return to the Palace after this message and a word from your local station.
Of Auburn Hills, and the Pistons lead the Lakers 79-66. Game 1 of the 1989 NBA Finals, and this is the story on the Detroit bench. Isaiah Thomas's hamstring has tightened up, and their trainer, Mike Abdenauer, is trying to loosen him up. It is a story I'm sure the Pistons are concerned about, and one that we will follow throughout this final quarter. Let's go back to you, Dave.
Nonetheless, Isaiah Thomas has 24 points and a brilliant all-round game tonight for Detroit, and certainly the key to all the great things they've done. But the Lakers have scored the last 7 of the third quarter. Now, if they're going to make a run, it could come in the first 4 minutes. That may be their best opportunity. And a foul and a free throw situation as Vinnie Johnson picks up his second.
Number 15, Vinnie Johnson.
See, every time, Dick, that they hit Worthy down inside that area, he's getting a nice shot attempt. And since he's been taking his time, he's been getting hit and going to the foul line.
He had a very slow start tonight, hit only 1 of his first 6 shots, and yet has 16 points to lead the Lakers scorers. Thomas with the hamstring taped up. He's stretching. Don't forget, his left hand is also tender. People have touched it, and he's winced, so he's not 100%. Worthy misses the second free throw, and the Lakers are really hurting themselves by missing from the line. But it's a 12-point game now, and goaltending is called against Woolridge, but they let Vinnie Johnson get in almost unmolested that time.
Well, Orlando could have picked him up at least 2 steps above where he did, and Vinnie never would have been able to get that shot off.
So the lead now is 14, where the Lakers had a chance to cut it to 11.
Detroit knows that the Lakers can so quickly.
Offensive foul, L.A.
While James is complaining, Dick, he's feeling that he's being roughed up in the post, but all night long. Now watch how hard Rodman's going to work over the top. You see, first of all, he took the forearm, but then he retaliated right into the throat area of Rodman.
Vinnie Johnson in the area he likes to be in. Gets the basket. You can't let him get that close around the paint.
Hey, I'll tell you, the microwave has been in there all night, Dick.
Campbell going to the hoop, gets the basket in a foul, and Tony Campbell is clawing and fighting his way in a valiant work off the bench tonight for the LA.
You can see Chuck Daly right now is feeling the frustration. See, this guy right here is a scorer. He was a big scorer at Ohio State in the Big Ten, and then and all the club teams that he played with in the Continental League, he was a 20-plus scorer. So he has that mentality.
But Bill Musselman, who will coach Minnesota Timberwolves in the expansion in the NBA next year, really had him concentrate on defense, and that rounded out his game.
I buy that. He's very good. Good football.
Vinnie Johnson, wild shot, and turns it over to the Lakers. So right now, this game hanging in the balance. Not so much that the Lakers were the threat to take the lead, but they're down by 13 and a lot of time to go, and this is a crucial sequence for LA.
What you said is true. A lot of time. Anything can happen here now. This is a very explosive basketball team. You're Chuck Daly. You're a little uptight here right now.
Looking for Michael Thompson with 6 on the shot clock. Offensive foul. How many of those offensive fouls have been called against the Lakers tonight? It seems like half of them have been that way.
Well, you know what happened that time? See, Pat Riley is on the referee, Jake O'Donnell. What happened that time was as Michael Thompson went behind the backboard, he jumped right back into the chest of the defensive player.
4 fouls on Thompson. Cooper and Kareem also have 4, and Abdul-Jabbar has spent a lot of time on the bench.
Now this is where it's got to happen defensively.
Sally from the corner.
Well, they negated that one kind of fast.
Sure did. 15-point lead. 2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. And another offensive foul. The 6th call against the Lakers tonight. And the foul against Woolridge is his 4th. The Lakers just can't get out of the quicksand.
This NBA game summary is sponsored by Seagram's Coolers. Pure Seagram's, pure fun.
The story thus far, the Lakers, because of Detroit's superlative defense, held 7 percentage points below what they normally shoot. Detroit really doing the job from their backcourt, and when they do, they win, and they have a 20-point edge from their guards. Byron Scott out of action, and again, Detroit with a huge rebounding edge.
Dick, it's very hard to get a high shooting percentage if you don't get out on the break and get those easy layups. And then they take away no second shots, because when you get the second shot, they're usually inside 6 or 8 feet. It's a high percentage shot, plus you get fouled.
Game 1, best of 7 for the NBA World title, and the Lakers are looking to make it 3 in a row. Their search for the Triple Crown here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. But every time the Lakers have made any kind of a semblance of a run, the Pistons have answered it dramatically.
You know what, though, Dick? Let's look at the foul shooting. If they did anything at all on the foul line tonight, they would really be in close striking distance.
Great point. Magic Johnson is back in for the Lakers. Trapping. He's got Cooper, along with Michael Thompson, Woolridge, and Campbell. 3 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson. He's done that all night, going away from the hoop, Hubie.
It's just a great athletic move because he's going to his left. He's drifting in the air and then changing the shot release.
And Woolridge fights his way in and gets the basket in the foul, and Orlando Woolridge with 8 points. James Edwards with his 4th personal foul.
Just watch how Vinnie Johnson, he knows the clock is down. He elevates with 2 on the clock. There's the fade and the adjustment as Magic Johnson almost gets a shot block.
Woolridge with the 3-point play. 87-73. Still a lot of time, as you see. 14-point game. Cooper on Dumars. Magic leaves Vinnie Johnson and gets burned.
The guards have been on fire since we've thrown up the ball.
51 points by the 3 guards for Detroit. 51 of their 89 points from the 3 guards. Woolridge, short, Rodman.
One of Pat Riley's creeds, when you're on the road, shot selection and defense must get it done for you.
Again, penetration by Detroit, Vinnie Johnson. He has 10 points already in this quarter. Timeout. Let's just appreciate number 15.
Watch the penetration. Now the explosion. Look how he takes on the shot blocking ability. Beautiful.
And no one on the Lakers to unplug the microwave. Well, the finals can be fun for those in it, but Hubie Brown asked Pat Riley, the Lakers coach, if this is fun for him.
You know something, Hubie, this is misery. You know what I'm talking about. You can relate to that. I mean, everybody looks at it from outside and they see, you know, World Championship Finals, you know, glamour, and, you know, CBS and national recognition. Let me tell you, the participants in this kind of matchup, when you're playing for all the marbles, is just the waiting to get to the competition is excruciating, first of all. You would love to play 7 consecutive games in a row, every other day, survival of the fittest. But it's tough. There's not any enjoyment. You can't say, well, I always sort of laugh when I read quotes about, you know, teams or coaches or players. Yeah, we're going down to the Final Four. We're going to have some fun this weekend, too. Well, you want to have some fun, go to the boys' club, okay? I want to win, and I think that's what happened.
There's a man that understands his job. He has a great basketball team, and whenever he doesn't win the ring, they claim he had a bad year. Kareem sums it up best. An excellent job. We're well prepared, and he understands what it takes.
Lakers had cut the deficit to 13, and the Pistons were on another roll thanks to Vinnie Johnson. Michael Thompson. Second shot is good. But if you want to look at points or lack of it for the Lakers, particularly in the second half where Detroit's open it up, Kareem, Magic, and Cooper have not scored in this half.
Wow.
Just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and a turnover. Magic, 3-on-2 break. Oh, Campbell. Tony Campbell has come off the bench to score 12 points for the Lakers. No one can fault his contribution tonight, having to move up with Scott out of there and Cooper forced to start.
He's really attacking the boy. But this trap, that was one of the very few turnovers that it has forced.
Edwards from the corner. That's 13 for James off the bench. And the starter, Lane Beer, only 4, and it's been Edwards' game at center for the Pistons.
Oh, that's Vinnie Johnson looking just like they did in the Chicago series.
Campbell has it stripped by Sally, and it's still Lakers ball. Right now, quickly to Pat O'Brien.
Dick, in that last Piston huddle, there was concern despite their success right now. Chuck Daly is telling them, don't let up, don't let them back in the game, and don't let Magic Johnson take over the game. Pretty good advice. Back to you.
That's why they win, Pat, because of that kind of attitude. Michael Thompson comes in and gets another basket. He has 12.
See, what I like what's happening now in the last couple minutes is that the Lakers are really attacking now and going strong into the painted area, and something good is happening every time down.
Lakers with no team fouls so far in this quarter. Edwards gets fouled, a smart foul by Tony Campbell, because he's going to make Edwards have to sink 2 instead of the easy basket.
You'll see the movement of the basketball here coming to Edwards underneath. Now, you know, there's your push right there. Now, people here want a deliberate foul, all right, and then they would want the ball out, okay? That's what they're looking for. You get that one on a breakaway. That's the rule in the NBA. Very seldom will you see it underneath the basket.
Isaiah Thomas, who's been on the bench a while, he's got that hamstring bothering him. Nonetheless, he has scored 24 points, although he has not played much in this fourth quarter. Edwards makes the free throw. There's the time remaining in the fourth quarter, 95-79 Detroit.
Isaiah's inspiration at the top of this game really set the tone.
Woolridge lost it out of bounds. This is not the way the Lakers played in their first 3 playoff series when they swept Portland, Seattle, and the Phoenix Suns.
Yes, but they always opened up at home, and then they have not played against a tough defensive team like this, and then you cannot take out one of their 3 main scorers like Byron Scott.
Dumars. And I asked Chuck Daly, I said, is there any defense in the league like yours? He says the Utah Jazz, and that was the one team that Pat Riley didn't want to play this year in the playoffs. He didn't have to.
Well, Utah matches up with them well and gives them a lot of trouble, and the guy in the middle, Eaton, is the one that causes it.
Cooper for 3. Loose ball, and Michael Thompson keeps it alive. Halfway now through the fourth quarter, 6 minutes.
You were 100% right. He got your hand.
Pick and roll, Magic to Thompson. Basket counts, and a Piston foul. That's their 4th team foul of this fourth quarter.
Watch the movement here now with Magic. He looks right back. Now, Thompson is the guy that has really come to life in the last couple of minutes here. And he's really penetrating and extending himself. If he doesn't make the field goal, he's getting fouled.
And that was the pick and roll play. We talk about it a lot. And for those not used to what that is, it's the man who sets the screen all of a sudden rolls to the hoop and gets the pass from the ball handler. And both teams use that play a lot. Pistons have missed only 1 of 9 shots in this fourth quarter. You can still say 1 out of 10 off the rim. They're hot.
Vinny leveled off that defensive man by going through his legs. That was a beautiful move.
Worthy defensed well. Thompson pushed and will shoot 2. And that's the 15th foul against Detroit. They're in the penalty. Lakers have committed only 1 foul themselves.
Well, if you're Detroit, Chuck Daly, you know right now that they're going to make one more run at you. Now, for how long they will be able to put numbers on the board, the main thing is that you just have to match them at the other end. But you do not want to see your ball club fouling people anytime they miss a shot.
The hand for James Edwards, who sits down with 5 personal fouls. Edwards with 15 points has been a bulwark scoring-wise inside for Detroit tonight, replaced by Bill Laimbeer.
A correction here. Ball was on John Sally.
They've changed the foul to John Sally.
Second on Sally.
Chuck is going to keep Edwards on the bench anyway, so Edwards will have 4. Sally picks up his 2nd, and the Lakers continue to miss free throws. He's got another coming. Lakers playing without Byron Scott with a slight tear of the left hamstring, averaging 20 points a game in the playoffs. He'll miss at least the first 2 games. And his absence has affected the team. And they're going to keep it there, I believe. A loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul on LA's number 21.
Now they've changed it to Cooper. That's 5 now on Cooper. Look at the free throw shooting, 20 of 31. Been a crippling effect on the Lakers' offensive effect tonight.
It's kept them out of striking distance.
Lead is 17 now for Detroit, winding down to 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Dumar's working on Magic, 4 seconds to go. Things go that way when you're on a roll.
But it's been the guards' penetration with the clock down. Either Isaiah, either Vinnie Johnson, or Joe Dumars. They've been able to make the backbreaker with the shot clock ready to go off.
Magic, corner, Green, open. And they'll call the Detroit foul. Pistons in the penalty. And it'll be Dumars on the loose ball foul.
Watch Dumars level Magic off. Then you'll see him beat him. He just surprised them by wheeling so quickly. But how about the elevation of that shot? High on the board, a soft grab, and just drops down in.
At the top of the game, you talked about how the Pistons needed to get points, and they needed points from their backcourt. Well, of their 101 points, Vinnie Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Joe Dumars have accounted for 59 of those points.
Kind of nice.
Friends of Magic, teammates. Isaiah giving Aguirre the word.
I know that Chuck Daly is kind of happy that it's staying at the high double-figure mark here so that he does not have to put Isaiah back into the ball game with that hamstring.
Look at the shooting from Detroit in this fourth quarter. Brilliant.
See, they've done a nice job against this trap. They've moved the ball. They've run the clock.
Sally finds Dumars, finds the basket. They can do no wrong in game one.
Now, I can't emphasize enough, these small guards are going down in there, and the Lakers are getting no shot blocks.
Keep in mind, the Pistons have yet to give up 100 points in any playoff game this year. They've allowed 84, and they may be headed for another one. Rodman Back to Dumars. Well, not only has Thomas scored tonight, but Dumars 11 of 16 from the field. Vinnie Johnson as well. Magic hits the deck, and he is fouled, and the basket counts. 3:26 to go, and Magic is playing as if this game were all tied.
Every time that Magic has been involved with a pick and roll tonight, Dick, they have scored or they've been fouled. An interesting time because Detroit, you know, you say, well, they're out there, a big lead right now. They've really taken away everything. They have not taken away that pick and roll. That has been productive.
Magic Johnson with 17 points and 13 assists tonight. That's what they are out in L.A. The Raiders love the fact that the Pistons model themselves after them. Back before the game, Aguirre came out with the number 23 in silver and black in a Raider football jersey. Off Laimbeer's hands. Green. One of the few, if only, fast breaks we've seen the Lakers.
Right on the money, Dick. We have not seen that one.
05:89, but the clock is running out. Down.
Detroit has good patience at the end of the game, moving the ball.
6 on the shot clock. Sally from the corner. And Laimbeer loses it. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. The Pistons, who beat the Lakers in L.A. in Game 1 last year, may be headed for Game 1 win again.
We'd like to show you the Detroit attack versus the Lakers half-court trap. Here we have two players on Dumars. They're forcing the pass into the corner, but because that's Bill Laimbeer, the coverage is quick. Now, once the ball goes down inside, notice the three players here. Now, here we have Rodman going through, but then watch the second cutter coming down into the area. Now, this, we feel, is something that the Lakers must clear up if they're going to use the trap to come back into the game in the rest of the series.
And of course, the teams will go over and pore over the videotape. There's Mark McNamara, who had played on an NBA championship team with the Philadelphia 76ers. Jeff Lamp is in, so Pat Riley with David Rivers, their rookie from Notre Dame in at guard, has put up the white flag for Game 1. But they'll go back and look at the tapes, and Game 2, as all games, have different characteristics to them.
Well, they've been in so many series, whether you lose by 1 or 40, it's only one game.
Right. Campbell, offensive foul. 2:11 remaining, and the Pistons lead it.
Tonight, Dick, the footwork of the Detroit Pistons have really been impressive, because that is at least the 6th charge that they have taken.
Michael Williams, rookie from Baylor, and John Long, number 25, a veteran. And they cheers as Dumars goes out. Joe scored 22 points, second to Isaiah Thomas's 24. How about for the starting guards? 46 points. And then Vinnie Johnson adds 17. Under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Williams, a rookie. 19 now for Vinnie Johnson.
Why should the theme of this game change?
That's right. 14 points in the last quarter for Vinnie Johnson, who's been known to explode in final quarters in the playoffs. Rivers, number 14, the only rookie on the team. And a Piston foul. John Long will come in, and a cheers. Vinnie Johnson will go out. Seven of 8 in the fourth quarter from the field, and only waiting and watching is Michael Cooper, hoping for a better result in Game 2. The Detroit starting guards scored 60, the two guards plus Vinnie Johnson scored 65 points tonight.
not bad. But the big thing out of that, never mind the abundance of points, is the fact that they made so many of them with the shot under 4 seconds.
Add to that, great rebounding, terrific defense, and it's no surprise it's a 107-91 game. 1:25 to go. John Long. John Long, second tour of duty with the Pistons.
Well, John was here when Chuck Daly first turned it around. The backcourt, Isaiah Thomas, John Long up front, Tripucka, Lampier, Benson. They're the guys that got it done, Dick.
An offensive team, they turned into a defensive masterful club. Fennis Dembo, the rookie from Wyoming, number 34. There is Dembo. Sat on the pine this year for the Pistons.
Well, it's tough for a first-round draft pick to come into this ball club. You're talking about 9 veterans deep, and then they go out and they pick up John Long from Indiana, and now all of a sudden they are 10 veterans deep with guys with playoff experience, and they all can score and get it done for you. They all have big roles.
Green with the free throw. So, as was the case last year, Detroit will have a 1-0 lead in this series. Of course, last year, they shocked the Lakers on the Forum floor. Now they did it at home. Williams feeding Sally. Stormed in on AC Green. And is called for the offensive foul.
Chuck Daly's happy, though, because Sally took that ball and was determined to go for the dunk.
Your thoughts about a Laker comeback in Game 2? The elements without Scott.
Well, I think that what happens is you're working out the cobwebs today, number 1. Number 2, you got all you wanted in your low-power game in the first half. You didn't make the shots. Number 3, you got the foul shot opportunities. You didn't make your foul shots. So it's a matter of them collectively getting their game together and then say, hey, listen, we can do it. And then if we do get behind, let's make something happen out of the trap.
14 of 16 from the field for the Pistons in the fourth quarter. That was Jeff Lamp who scored the last basket for the Lakers. Williams. Oh, now they're just having fun. This is fun for the Detroit team. Rivers. David Rivers with the layup. 16 seconds to go. So the LA Lakers will suffer their first playoff loss this year. And this will snap their 16-game winning streak dating back to the regular year. And the Pistons are one step toward an NBA title. But we'll hear from the Lakers before it's over. But Game 1 goes to Detroit. The final score, Pistons 109, Lakers 97. And they still haven't allowed 100 points. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. With Vinnie Johnson, congratulations. Last year in Game 1, you blew the Lakers out, but this year you seemed a little more confident, are you?
No question. We're very confident. We feel like our defense is at its best right now, and tonight, we got our offensive game going.
Microwave was working tonight, wasn't it?
A little bit. Isaiah got off to a great start, and Joe started hitting his shot, and that kind of opened things up for me.
What do you expect from the Lakers in Game 2 now?
A little more aggressive defensively. I thought the trap gave us some problems, here and there, but I think overall, I look to see more trap from them.
For now, you're happy, right?
Very.
All right. See you Thursday. Back to you, Brent.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And so the Detroit Piston defense still has not given up 100 points in a single playoff game this season so far. And again, unfortunately for the Lakers, Byron Scott will not be available for Game 2 Thursday night. We'll be back, the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan, in just a moment.